Started as an East Coast vibe, now I'm going worldwide. We got this bitch going crazy. I used to take the Mazda 4 drive, now I'm on the 405 like it's fuck you, pay me. We really sick of standing outside, had to push them all aside. It's what you get for trying to play me. I bet they make a movie.
What up, folks? How's it going? What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? Cyber, my friend. I can't remember. No, I'm just joking. I'm moderating tonight. I remember now. I got my head on straight. I remember. Look at this, folks. I'm telling you, I'm at this really weird, different camera angle than I'm used to right now, and I'm all fucked up right now. Right? Like, you know, it's almost close to like when She-Hulk, like, got me, and I had to question my sexuality. You know what I'm saying? It's very similar to that. So anyways, folks, Jason Leach has already announced as the shit show special version of the Mandalorian season 3 episode 6 recap. Right? Jasmine almost went on strike already. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot, everything. Cyber's just laughing, you know, chilling. And either way, and I'm frustrated as fuck. But either way, though, you know what? It's all good. Because Mandalorian's was on tonight, baby. It was fucking dope as usual. Bo-Katan's killing it, Jasmine, motherfucker. What's up with that, huh? Talk all that shit. Back at the series now. What you guys say for Bo-Katan now, Jazz? Yeah. That's what I thought. Killing it. Killing it. Killing it. Carrying the fucking series.
Yeah, Bo-Katan is definitely a highlight of this season.
Sure. She took over the fucking show.
Yeah, she did.
Yo, her and the armor are fucking just destroying it.
Yeah.
And her and Jar Jar Binks, baby. That's fucking, you know, what's his name? But no. Anyways, folks, we're here to do the Mandalorian, season 3, episode 6. Another great episode. Welcome, you know, to all of us out there. Sorry we're late. It's all on me. I take full responsibility. I was actually, practicing my celibacy, right? You know, like that movie fucking with Tom Hanks where the guy lashes himself and shit. I do all that shit, you know? Right? So, you know what I'm talking about?
Hey.
Yeah, Cyber's like, yeah, I know all about that shit, man. I was doing it last night.
Yep. That was me. Yep.
Oh, shit. What up, Jazz? What's up, hon?
Hey, not much. How about you?
I can already see your fucking whole energy is all fucking different now that you've got content up on your new content YouTube channel and shit to plug and whatnot. You're all beaming.
Who, me? Never.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Beaming. All right, so thank you very much, Leach, for joining us again and whatnot. Jason,
yeah, my pleasure, man.
You're a welcome addition to the fucking panel, brother. And folks, we had a great episode, Cyber, my friend. What do you think, man? Just to start things off, just to kind of, let you start things off, I guess. Coming off of episode 5, right? Where were we at coming into episode 6, right? Episode 5, like what was the break or the separation?
Well, I mean, episode 5 definitely was more focused on the Mandalorians themselves versus really going off and adventuring in there. So it was more of a contained story itself, I felt. So definitely this episode changes that by going off and furthering Dar Jinn's story along with Bo-Katan and stuff like that. So it definitely was a refreshing little kind of reprieve from the last couple episodes, I feel.
Most definitely. And, I'll tell you, just go around real quick and everything and whatnot. This is something I noticed we haven't really mentioned at all in any of our shows, really. Jasmine, what do you think of the Armorer?
I'm a big fan of her. I think her action scenes are amazing, and her knowledge and the way she explains things is amazing.
Yeah, she has a great voice. Wouldn't it be fucked up if her helmet came off, Leech, and it was fucking, what's his name? That guy from fucking that Goonies movie under there? You know what I'm saying? What's that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's rumors that the Armorer is actually Bo-Katan's sister, who was believed to be dead. Whatever. But I definitely in the last episode, I started to think the Armorer had like a different kind of agenda, but then the last episode, when she came in, she started kicking ass and like wielding that hammer. Then I realized that she was legit, you know?
Yeah, she just likes to pick her spots, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's not, she's not trying to outshine anybody,
Right.
right? You know, she wants to give you that stable voice.
Yeah.
Right, Cyber, but her voice is interesting because it's not like I don't find it profound. It's not like some James Spader Ultron type shit, right? But it is very solid, right? Like her delivery is really good. Like her lines are great. I think they are. Not all of them. I'm saying that they're not all spot on, but for the most part, when she talks, things are pretty. She talks very slow. She usually has pretty impactful things to say.
I feel that she definitely has a good way of, approaching herself or representing herself most definitely in what she says. Like she's thought it through and she says exactly what she's already planned out in her mind. And she's a very calculated person. So I think just like in this episode, basically, like Darjin was saying, what is your actual motive at some point in the episode? I think there's more to what Bo-Katan is doing than she is, and that's why her speech is that way.
Well, haven't we always all thought to some extent that we like? I mean, I've always thought that Bo-Katan eventually was gonna. I've always figured she has some kind of something going on, right? Like, even if she's not showing it. No, I don't think that there's been any like unanimity on that. Like I've never asked you about it before, Jason. But Jasmine, I think you for the last time I checked with you, you thought that Bo-Katan was down for the cause, right?
Yeah, I definitely assumed that's what was going on with her. And so far I've been proven right.
Well, yeah, I mean, she seems like she's fallen right in line. Like, I mean, I don't know, like, you tell me, Cyber, like her facial expressions and everything, and this gets into episode 6 a little bit, but in episode 5, when the armor was very poignant, I felt at the end when she told her, instructed her to take off her helmet. That's when she said what she said after that about how Bo-Katan was now going to be like the bridge to both, to both worlds or whatnot and everything. Yeah. That was fucking intense.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think that even like impressed Bo-Katan, right? Like she was kind of like fucking in awe of the armor a little bit.
And you could tell by her by like her facial expressions that like number one, she's a great actress because you can see the emotions in her face and everything. And she had like such pride when the armorer kind of gave her the okay to take the helmet off and be the one who reunites all of Mandalore, etc. But
yeah, it was kind of like the moment that I fucking became infertile, right? And I busted that first nut, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that I had no consequences, you feel me? Same thing, baby. You know what I mean? Yeah. Same feeling. Victory, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go. There you go, folks. Hard-hitting, bleeding edge style commentary right there. So, no. So basically, though, I don't know, Cyber. Last thing on Bo-Katan, I don't know. I can't read her. I think she's partially, somewhat, kind of blown away by what's happening, right? The fucking the Mythosaur, right? Really fucked her up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, you know the way that fucking Dijin stepped in and whatnot in episode 5 and whatnot, and led the Mandalorian people the way he did and whatnot and everything, right? And I think that shook her up too. You know what I'm saying? Again, like she's wavering, right? She's wondering, I think, who she's supposed to be, right? What her place is. And you tell me. I've come to the conclusion now. I understand now. There's nothing sinister about it. It's not that she has anything evil about going on her. She's not selfish, right? I think she does in her own way, like take pride in her own pride being a Mandalorian. She just lost her path.
Yeah. Agreed.
Uh-oh, here comes Joss talking her shit. What a surprise. What a surprise, Joss. You sexual monster.
I gotta agree, but somebody broke the ice. I have to agree.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, it's all good. I always beat I beat everybody to it anyway in the studio, and I already told her that she looked good. So I already fucked you up, Josh. How about that? Josh, when we review Animal House, you got to be on for that shit. I'm telling you. I want to hear what you're gonna have to say on that. You feel like Jasmine's giving you a look? All right. Well, hey, maybe she is. I don't know. Nah, I think she's just beaming because of that one fucking new video on YouTube channel. So no, the Armorer though. Now again, I don't know. I've been watching some of the Mandalorian tutorial videos and whatnot. Not tutorials, but the ones that explain the different I guess sects, right? Or groups of the Mandalorians.
Yeah.
And essentially the Armorer, if I understand correctly, is let's see, what is she? I had her in here somewhere. Oh, fuck it. I can't find it now. Don't even worry about it. Oh, so anyways, oh, here it is. Now, the Armorer comes from, let's see, what is it? I'm trying to think of what the name of the sect that she's from is called. I know what Bo-Katan was in during the Clone Wars. There she is.
Children of the Watch, right?
Yes, it was. The Children of the Watch.
Okay.
Yes. The Armorer is a female Mandalorian armorer from Mandalore who led the tribe, a part of the Children of the Watch, during the New Republic era. Following the Galactic Empire's Great Purge of Mandalore, she resided with the tribe in a covert on the planet Nevarro, which is the cave. So there you go. That's her story. Fucking name. Wow, that's short. But so, anyways, episode 6. Now, I'll go to you, Jazz, and then to you, Jason. What did you think of the way that they started off the episode? In terms of, I guess, in general, also, and then also, the fact that I didn't really feel like it really connected all that much to, the rest of the episode. Not too heavily.
Well, the opening of the episode was very straightforward, I guess. It was giving me very Star Trek with the way they introduced the alien ship or whatever in the very opening. That was interesting.
Because the scope of it?
Yeah, it was giving me very much Star Trek and the back to tank vibe. It was definitely different compared to majority of what we get on this show. It was giving me very much early sci-fi days of television. So I was very intrigued by it and I enjoyed it. And it was like you got to see what other people in the galaxy are going through that also involved characters you were going to come back around to later. So I thought that was a very interesting way of opening up the episode compared to the other episodes we've had this season so far.
And I was wrong. There is a connection there. Of course there is. Because right off the bat, we get basically right off the bat shown what Bo-Katan mentions as what's left of her fleet as far as the Mandalorian fleet, the bodies, the actual Mandalorians. They're all mercenaries now, right? Yep. She says they're out mercenary. You know what I mean? And that's who it is. It's out there that stealing the princess, being paid as mercenaries to grab the prince who's in love with some fucking weird looking, fucking nasty looking alien bitch, right? The queen or whatever, fucking Musha or whatever is fuck.
She was not that ugly.
Leech, I'm telling you, man, those are some rough looking aliens, bro. I mean, seriously, that gave me some serious fucking earlier Star Wars vibes. Those some of those aliens from the original trilogy, those ones with the fucking weird tentacles and the fish head type heads.
Yeah.
I was getting that same vibe, man. So no, I guess Jason and Cyber again, right? Nothing really all that interesting really happens in the initial part of the episode. It's nothing all that important, really. I guess you could say. Essentially, right at the bat, we do get this little there's almost some humor in it when we get those mercenary Mandalorians. I felt right. They even say hey, we're not here to. No one's here to. There's no war here. We get that this kid's in love, right? We got to do our jobs to get paid. you know, and it does obviously tie into the rest of the episode. It does. So I was totally wrong about that. But basically, Jason, if you could actually try to maybe inform me a little bit, if I understand correctly, what is this fleet? Because I actually was a little bit lost with that. Now, what later Dejin and Bo-Katan actually visit the ships and whatnot, everything that she has that she's stolen from the Empire, and whatnot, and everything, and stockpiled.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that like that was her resistance squad or whatever?
Well, see when it going back to season 2, she had like this group that she went around with and did some mercenary work. She had the Darksaber previous to this, but apparently Moff Gideon had gotten it from her or whatever, and they lost confidence in her. So that's why they kind of shunned her and broke off and did their own thing. And now they're just doing like bounties, just like Mando does.
Well, yeah, because you got to eat, right?
What's that?
You got to eat, right?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you got to eat, baby. You know? What else are you going to do?
It's a big galaxy.
Yeah, for real. How they even eat with those helmets sometimes I don't even know, but no, but I also, Cyber, I didn't mention also the fact that they immediately assumed that they were dealing with the Empire. And you saw you saw Captain Shugish go to like bribe what she thought was an Imperial officer or whatever and whatnot, right? And I thought it was funny kind of in a way, right? Like how she changed her tone. And since she couldn't understand English, she couldn't understand the basic language or whatever and whatnot, or she didn't pronounce it well. Cyber, what did you think of the introduction scene, and then what did you think of, I guess, the direction they went in terms of the episode where we're kind of getting more into the actual Mandalorian fracturing of the different sects of the Mandalorians and whatnot, and then having that more interwoven.
So we're talking about the alien introduction, and then kind of going from there.
Yeah,
up to what point?
Yeah, when the Mandalorians pick up and they stop, the ship. It is Guns for Hire, folks. The title of the episode, Chapter 22, Guns for Hire. But no, and we also see, Bo, right? And Dejin talk about he asks her right off the bat in their first scene, where are all of your people, right? We're all are where's your fleet or whatever and whatnot? And she's like, oh, they're all mercenary, right? Basically, what did you take anything other than what's already been said out of that opening scene? And what did you think of the aliens that we got?
So my first thought was these are very interesting looking aliens, because I feel like we really hadn't seen anything like this in the Star Wars universe. I mean, there's definitely been creatures at the cantina and in different bars and stuff like that across the several films and TV shows where they have had kind of similar features, but nothing quite like this. I mean, the mouths on the females were very interesting compared to the male ones, I felt. And I thought that was kind of an interesting way of deciphering the two between the two. And I thought that was kind of a clever idea. And then how the leader herself is in the water. I was like, why aren't any of the other ones in water? Why is she in water? So I was kind of thinking to myself, there's more backstory we need to these creatures. But I thought they were kind of interesting looking. Then that whole
Cyber, she's fucking thirsty, Bob. Come on, she's thirsty.
Anyways, so I mean, and then leading up to the Mandalorians, this offshoot faction, which we find out are the people that Bo-Katan was originally kind of the captain of or the leader of. It wasn't anything that great or special. I mean, it was pretty basic. We're here to take the one person. We're mercenaries for hire, and that's what we do. That's what, these Mandalorians do. So I think it was kind of interesting, that they started off the episode with these Mandalorians. which they're not wearing their helmets and stuff like that.
No.
And, showing, like you said, that different offshoot of the Mandalorian. So
Yeah.
it definitely was an interesting beginning all around for this episode.
And that's a good connection too, because the non-helmet thing connects to like the captain's reaction when he flat out says like war. We know there's no war here. This is about love. You know what I mean? Whatnot, right? We get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not here to fight, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he says it right there. So obviously this is a faction, I would assume, right, of the Mandalorian race that's not heavily violent in its ways, right? Like maybe some of what I've learned are like what the older generations were like that wanted to actually spread the Mandalorian culture across the universe and whatnot through violence, through conquering, kind of like Kang-esque. Which there you go, folks. I'm doing some deep diving these days. So no, but essentially in Guns for Hire after that, basically, what we end up going into, after the whole, incident with like, the big ship and everything and whatnot, and the prince, he was like a little bitch, kind of in a way. But essentially we get an introduction to the Corn captain. Oh, that's okay. That's what's her name, Musa. I forgot. I apologize. But no, so basically, after that, basically we go back to like again, the Mandalorians themselves, Jin, Bo-Katan. I didn't see much. Grogu wasn't really in the episode that much. I don't think.
Yeah, not much.
I didn't see him.
Which is okay with me. I think that.
Are you sure?
I think at that point, like, unless they really dig into his character and like, I don't know, right? Like at this point, I think he's just like a distraction. Honestly.
What are you gonna dig exactly? Or like the different levels of coups he can do?
Like, yeah, right. But I think at this point he's in there for the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, but if
No.
there he is. but if they like, and they're touching into his backstory or whatever. If they get a little bit more into that, I dig it. But right now, like I said, he's a distraction.
Yeah, and you know what? I think he only fits in certain situations too. Sometimes, like he doesn't lend to certain things. But no. So we go from there, and basically we end up going to the green planet of Plaisir. And we end up having the scene where there's the droids. Inside the dome where droids meet their every need, kind of the planet. And Jin and Bo-Katan are kind of like inspired right now, I guess, based on all the events and whatnot, right? And they've got Grogu at that point, I think, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah. They seek out, and once again, they're moving, right? As usual. And they seek out Axe and the rest of the Stolen Fleet. But only after the detour, Axe is the captain from that, what we saw in the initial scene. They end up getting dropped square in the middle of the planet's droid problem. And I believe it's right there, isn't it? That like they actually get tractor beam, don't they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? Which that was very
of the ship.
Yeah, that was very old school like Star Wars trap like type shit. Right? I like that. That was sort of like almost fan services, I thought almost. And right from there, essentially, right, they're brought like almost involuntarily. They're not like mistreated, but they're forced. Essentially to be greeted, to meet or to like be received by the court and the Duchess. And what's happening is essentially that they ask the Katana, the Jin, and Grogu to join them and like eat and whatnot and chill. They sit there and whatnot and everything, hang out and all that. Nothing all that really impactful happens as far as I was concerned, to tell you the truth. But through conversation and whatnot and everything, you do find out that Plaisir is now a direct democracy, which I found interesting. I like hearing. I thought it was interesting hearing some of the actual political terminology, and having them talk about their politics a little bit and whatnot. You don't see that very much. And their charter requires them to outsource security to privateers. And there's an upside to this. They can spend a little money on their people. What's more, there's more wealth to go around than when no one wants for anything and nobody has to work. And so essentially they have like an egalitarian society. and from there, you know, what we end up getting is the Bombardier. You know, seems like he's legit, like, you know, almost like the chick from episode 3, like he's not Imperial anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and Plaisir seems like it's a functioning like planet or whatever, productive. And in the meantime, I think, you know, basically at that point, like in a way, Dijin and Katana are almost kind of like not prisoners, but similar, like they're being held. You know, and at that point, essentially, you know, I guess, you know, we start to see malfunctioning in the droids and whatnot and everything. And I guess it kind of at that point, if I understand correctly, if I remember correctly, Bombardier is the one that's played by what's his name from Christopher Lloyd, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
That's right, Cyber. Yep.
Wait,
yeah,
Bombardier is actually
oh
Jack
no.
Black.
Oh, is that who? Oh, my bad. I apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Christopher Lloyd is Hellgate, the commissioner.
Yeah.
The security chief. Okay, so all right, and I'll stop after this and get you guys in. So, you know, they end up basically, you know, Din and Bo-Katan sort of like join in on the case and whatnot, take on the case in terms of what's going on with, you know, these droids, these issues, you know, and talking to Commissioner Helga, you know, Christopher Lloyd, you know, the security chief. They review some, you know, alarming, kind of stupid, you know, clips of droids gone wild, and right from there, I think is when we see fucking the Jin start kicking them, sidekicking them and shit and whatnot, knocking them down, is right, and whatnot, and everything until he gets one to fight, and we get a pretty dope action scene. We do, and you see Bo-Katan nasty as usual.
Yeah.
So Jasmine, you tell me, you know, I mean, like, basically, it was really cool to see Christopher Lloyd again. I haven't seen him in the movie or a TV show in a while. I can't think of anything. But what did you think? I thought the episode was good, but what did you take out of this part of the, you know, the episode? I guess almost probably what I just dropped was maybe like 15 minutes or so, you know, or not that much really all that happened. I didn't think, other than the droid stuff and the, you know, them going to a different planet and getting grabbed up. You know, what did you enjoy it? What did you take out of it? Right?
I enjoyed it because it was nice to see Jack Black and Lizzo. Like, that was surprising for me. I was freaking out because
that's Lizzo.
I like them as actors, and Lizzo as a singer. So seeing them as part of one of my favorite franchises was awesome. I was freaking out. I was like overjoyed. And then, you know, of course, Fester is in it from my Addams Family.
Christopher Lloyd.
I swear to God, I'm not gonna lie, guys.
I know his name, but like,
Jeff, I swear I won't lie. I didn't know it was Jack Black. I didn't even know.
Oh, really?
Until you guys started saying it till now, I had no fucking idea the entire episode.
No shit.
wow.
The beard fucked me up, man.
Oh, yeah. But that's a
It did.
legit beard. If you look at him right now, that is a legit beard.
I swear, I was watching. I did not even connect. I'm not drunk or anything, so I don't know, man. Who knows? Whatever.
I mean,
I
he
didn't even
doesn't
know.
act much outside of voice work.
No, and he was good though. I mean, I liked him in it and everything and whatnot, right? But no, I mean, besides that too, though. I mean, what did you take out of? You know, what did you get out of it? Do you like
it? Their interaction with the Mandalorian and just Grogu. The whole situation in itself was amazing. It was giving me very much the last two prequels vibes, the whole episode. It was giving me very much of that, and just seeing how Grogu was just being so adorable and like baby-like, and just the whole interaction itself felt very much like we were on, I don't think, what was it? Tatooine? Not Tatooine. Which one is the one that Padme was on?
Hey, be careful how you talk about Tatooine over there, okay?
Naboo?
Naboo. It reminded me of Naboo, the way that they were walking through the hallways of the palace. It was giving me very
can
much
see that.
Naboo.
Mhm.
So it was giving me feels for my childhood. Because I was like, oh, I remember, I remember the prequels, and I still love those movies to this day. So, as much as people say they don't like certain stuff,
You know
every
what it is?
film,
It's
if you
very
watch long enough, you'll have problems with. So,
yeah.
I just enjoy it for what it is.
It's very generational because you're saying that, but I'm much older than you, and when I was 7 years old, I saw Star Wars: A New Hope in the theaters when it was
Wow,
first released.
that's fucking
S-
crazy.
Yeah, so that's my Star Wars. But I understand, Jasmine, that's your Star Wars is the prequels. So there were many issues I had with the prequels, which all came together at episode 3, which I think is awesome. Probably my second favorite Star Wars movie all time. But like at the same time, I think you and I are different on this episode in general. Like I did not like the fact that Jack Black and Lizzo were in it. It was almost like it was fan service to like not Star Wars fan service,
I was
but
gonna say fan service, or do you mean like just straight popularity grabbing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, yeah, exactly.
Well,
And
I wouldn't say popularity grabbing because
no,
Lizzo
no,
is.
no, there's big name, big name, key name
Well,
type,
yeah,
Jack Black really isn't a big star anymore when it comes
no,
to
he's not.
his acting
right,
career.
right.
He's more of a voice actor.
but he once was,
Yeah.
But he fucked, yeah, but he killed it in Tropic Thunder.
Oh hell yeah! That is my favorite role of his in
Him and the
Tropic Thunder.
cocaine.
Absolutely.
I think they were all at their best in that fucking movie.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, to have them in there was a little weird. Even Christopher Lloyd, I wasn't feeling that, and I felt that his role kind of contradicted his character. Like his job was to find out, hey, what happened? Why are my robots going rogue? And they're going rogue because he planted something inside the robots to make them go rogue.
He wasn't actually the one asking for the help. It was the queen and king. He was pretending.
True, but he really like opened it up and said, "Oh yeah, please find out." Not like it wasn't resistant. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
Well, I don't think he thought anybody would find out, though.
True. But I just think this entire episode was a friggin' mess. And
yeah. No, you know what? Cyber, honestly, man, I'll be honest with you. Now that we've been talking about it more and whatnot, and everything, I'm actually starting to I'm starting to feel less hyped about it than I was when I first saw it and talked to you earlier. I am. What do you think about that? No, no, go ahead. Go ahead, Leech. I'll go to you, Cyber, for that. Go ahead, Leech.
Yeah, I really hope that these last 2 episodes like really pull shit together and make me yearn for season 4. But right now it's like I think there's been maybe 2 super quality episodes from this season, and the rest has just been like, I don't know, garbage, man. I'm just like, I'm not feeling this season at all. And I love the first 2 seasons. I mean, they're freaking amazing. But just I think they lost their way.
Hey, you know what? And we respect that opinion. Cyber, go. I told you I'd get you in there, man. Take as much time as you want. Cyber, what do you think? What do you think of what Leech just said, right? About his overall take on the series and whatnot, right? Do you agree with him or disagree? I don't agree with him. And then as far as what I was saying to you about how I believe he's right, though, that like this episode, now Jasmine's talking, you're talking, he's talking, I'm starting to realize that there were things that happened and whatnot and everything that are connected to me that I'm like, okay, that really didn't do anything for anybody. A little bit here and there. You know what I mean? Like, the action scenes were pretty good, but what do you think, Cyber? What do you think, Cyber? What do you think about the casting choices? Having Jack Black in there. You know, what do you think about Christopher Lloyd? What do you think about the whole premise of the episode? You know, the get in this section where it becomes about the droids, so they go to the other planet, whatnot. Those scenes and whatnot. Have at it, brother.
Well, first off, I get where Leach is coming from. I get, you know, being, you know, he was 7 years old when the first Star Wars came out. So it means you were born in 70 or 69. I don't know, either 69, one of them.
Yeah.
69, yeah. So you're same age as Jack Black. And, you know, going to see that, you know, there is a different, you know, differential and, you know, different, you know, ages gaps for different series, you know, the original trilogy, the prequel series, and then of course the actual trilogy of the sequels. And so a lot of people are gonna, of course, you know, they're gonna feel a certain way about certain things, and I get that. I personally, on my hand, if I like an actor, I don't care what they're in. I enjoy them no matter what, even if it doesn't add to the series or anything like that. Now, when it comes to The Mandalorian, see, my thoughts on The Mandalorian have been always the same. And The Mandalorian, to me, is an offshoot of the Star Wars universe. I don't really consider a part of the Star Wars universe because it's owned by Disney. Just like the sequel films, the prequel films, you know, those are all very much Disney-fied versus the original trilogy. And so I feel that The Mandalorian is not really the Star Wars universe. It's more of just kind of like their idea of what could be going on between the scenes.
Sure.
And so I don't really view it as a really hindrance to the Star Wars, you know, universe at all. I actually have been enjoying it. I think this season's been pretty decent. And I think this episode was one of my favorites. Simply the fact that they brought the droids in, that we got Christopher Lloyd, we got Jack Black. Now, Lizzo, I think she's a fantastic singer. I think she's a great model. And I think that she has great attributes that are amazing, but acting is not one of her traits.
Absolutely.
I thought that she was pretty basic. She was very bland. I mean, you know, I understand she's not an actress. I know she's not, you know, she's probably, you know, trying to get into it maybe. You know, as she progresses, she might get better. But as it stands in just this episode, I didn't think she was anything of a real asset to this episode. Versus where Jack Black, he's been around for many years. He's a fantastic actor. I like him in everything I've seen him. I don't care how bad the movie is. I love Jack Black. Same thing with Christopher Lloyd. Now, Christopher Lloyd, for me, the first thing I ever saw him in was, of course, you know, Back to the Future, Taxi. Those were the two things I know him most for versus like Addams Family. I love him, the Addams Family as Fester. He was fantastic.
Yeah,
but those weren't my first impressions of him. Taxi and Back to the Future were. And Taxi, I think, is one of his best roles to date still. Absolutely. He was fantastic as Jim in that show. The episode where he's trying to get his license again, and they keep asking him slow down to give him the answer, and he just keeps slowing down, saying things, is one of the best sequences in a TV series of all time. It is absolutely freaking hilarious.
Yeah,
and he is just a really fantastic actor. Clue, he's another great film that he was in, and you know, I thought, you know, even though, you know, like you were saying, Leach, I get, you know, they really don't have much of a place in the Star Wars universe. But still, because like me, I thought that even adding them was fun. I just thought it was a great kind of like fun, you know, like what everyone's saying, it's kind of a fan service, most definitely, I feel, to the fans of bringing these two characters in, these actors in, just to kind of get these actors in, because people have said, oh, I like to see Jack Black in this, I like to see this. But I don't think they were a hindrance to it at all. But I thought the story was really fantastic in this episode up to the point that we're at. I love that whole droid sequence. I thought it was really well shot. I love the look of the droids. I thought it was cool that they brought in several of the different droids. We had the battle droids. We had those, the more of the, I would say, Imperial battle droids. I forget what I know they had a different name. The taller gray ones versus the smaller.
It was the super battle droids.
Yeah, super battle
versus
droids.
The battle droids. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was cool that they brought them in, kind of giving you a little bit of taste of like the prequel films, because we hadn't seen them prior to, you know, until we saw the prequels, versus because the original films, they did not have them in. And I think it's interesting that I've noticed throughout this whole season, they have been using a lot of the same body texture for C-3PO, but a different head.
Yes.
I've been noticing that a lot in this season, and I've noticed that throughout The Mandalorian. They have that type of different droid, which I don't recall seeing in the previous films.
Yeah,
So
there was a blue one tonight in this episode.
Yeah. And so that was kind of interesting to see this new type of like droid put together type of deal. But yeah, I think a really solid first half of the episode. I loved when Jack Black popped up. I was cracking up. I was like, no way, Jack Black's in this. And the beard for me, Jeff, does not throw me off. I've seen him with beard several times. I mean, he's pretty much sported a beard now for the last 10 years. He's always fun to see. So that was funny to see them. And then when Lizzo popped up too, I was like,
he's got a better beard than me, man. I've got that fucking Keanu Reeves fucking like weak ass beard going on. You know what I'm saying? Like Keanu shit. You feel me?
I was thinking more like Abe Lincoln.
Oh, okay. Yo, I wish I had Abe Lincoln's beard, bro. What, are you kidding me? Abe Lincoln has a nice beard.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I doubt he was a lot of fun in the bedroom, but like he had some beard, bitch. You know what I'm saying? He was really playing in the beard department. You know, either way though. No, so I also believe that what's her name for episode 3 was there eventually at some point in the episode, wasn't she? I'm trying to think what her name was. The chick that was like that was in the MC program that turned you know, what's his name? The doctor, the clone doctor.
Oh, gosh, the one from
you're talking about the cunt lady. No, she wasn't in this episode.
She was. You know what? I could have swore I saw her. Then again, at the same time, no, my last Star Wars experience after the trilogy was actually that one night, 97 night. I took 7 did some fucking double gel tab acid, right? And fucking I had my own Star Wars experience for like 17 hours straight, right? It was fucking awesome.
Get me some whole shit. It was the
whole trilogy, bitch. Whole trilogy, right? I'm telling you. Yep. Hell fuck yeah, man. That shit was intense. I'm telling you right now, these kids are so fucking weak these days now. You give a hit of acid, they probably die. Oh, take me to the hospital. No, so anyways, oh shit. I just saw some funny shit. The Grogu beat, there's on some funny site, the Grogu beater. They're like making fun of Grogu, like per episode. So anyways, sorry about that. I didn't mean to wander off back in episode 3. But no, so basically, I mean, to kind of close things out, because I think I can do it right here, basically just one shot, essentially. Because again, this is a very, very direct, flat line kind of episode. There's not a lot of dips and dives. Not as many as we've seen, I don't think, is maybe the last couple episodes. But the whole dichotomy or the whole premise continues to move forward in the episode where, again, and I'll go right to you, Jazz, in a minute, where, again, we're focusing on, you know, Christopher Lloyd's character as like the lead security department person. We've got Djinn, we've got Bo, you know, interrogating, you know what, you know, they're trying to figure out these malfunctional, you know, droid situations and whatnot, and everything. We had that really good action scene where, like, basically, you know, so I guess almost in a way, I think that Mando and Bo kind of like both shoot the fucking robot right at the end, don't they? Both get her. Get that fucker? I think so. But then now.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Mando got him in the front. And
and then Bo put him down.
Yeah.
With one shot, of course. So after like that whole action scene and whatnot and everything, we sort of end up with what, you know, we get into a spot where essentially you know, there's a droid bar where the consumer lubricant, I don't know how to pronounce it. They pronounce it in the thing, nepenthinity or something like that, or whatever thing it was called. And the bartender determines that all the malfunctioning droids consume the same batch. I gotta get some of that shit, man.
You know what I liked about that is that it was a callback to A New Hope when on Tatooine, most nicely, when they went into the cantina and they said, "We don't serve your kind here," and it was, you know, the droids had to wait outside. So now this is a complete droid bar, and like the humans aren't the one, or the humans are the ones who aren't wanted there, which I thought was really cool.
Yo, I would love to hang out in the droid bar.
Fuck
Right?
yeah.
And like, you know what I'm saying? To hang out with the fucking droids and shit and whatnot and do shows with them and shit.
Right.
Right? Yo, that shit would be hot. Right? I don't know about fucking a robot being hot, but that'd be hot.
Hey, you
So-
know
I
what?
mean, I was thinking about it.
So, okay, so now we do get a Count Dooku fucking, like, you know, tie-in and whatnot and everything
Yeah.
when essentially, you know, when shit starts to really hit the fan, at the droid morgue, you know, when Jan and Bo-Katan discover that, you know, the bad batch of the Nephilim batch or whatever has some kind of infectious, like, I don't know, some kind of nanovirus or whatever, some shit.
Yeah.
They trace the source back, and it turns out it is Commissioner Huggle. And, you know, an reconstructed separatist who's still loyal to the vision of Count Dooku and says, you know, like, I believe in democracy, right? Like, and then some shit about, like, you know, what did he say? Dooku was a visionary or something like that, or some crap like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he basically threatens to, like, I think, blow up the whole base or whatever. Now, you know, at that point, Howard threatens to turn. Oh no, he threatens to turn all the droids against the citizens, not blow up the planet.
Yeah.
He's got, like, you know, the typical classic shot with his hands over the red button, and of course, you know, essentially, you know, I think we end up basically with Bo taking him out. You know, like, it's how it always boils down. You know, and at that point, we also get you know, we get Grogu getting his own key to Blizzard and a knighthood, right? So maybe we'll get Grogu in the knight armor, you know, like we talked about or whatever, like his Mandalorian armor. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And you know, everybody's friends, everything and whatnot. Bo-Katan discovers and, like, reunites with the stolen fleet and Axis or whatever and whatnot. Axis is not particularly happy to see her. Doesn't want to give her back the fleet. They fight. Bo, like, challenges him and shit and whatnot and everything. And, like, doesn't whoop his ass, but she does win. Of course, because she's a badass.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was dope. I like that about the Mandalorians. They have that type of, like, very sort of, like, old fashioned, like, you know, combat, like, you know, trial by combat type system in certain situations and whatnot. I like that. I do. I respect it.
Yeah.
You know, sort of like quasi T'Challa, right? In the first Black Panther film with, you know, with what's his name, M'Baku. So essentially, you know, Bo wins, and you know, Axe doesn't yield despite being his ass beat. Denies her claim for leadership because she can't wield the Darksaber, which can only be won through battle,
combat,
right? Yeah, through combat again. So at that point, you know, without the Darksaber, she cannot lead. But there's a loophole, essentially, where Din lost the Darksaber to that strange creature in the caves of Mandalore. I think he's talking about the Mythosaur. And though he holds it now, it's Bo-Katan who retrieved it from his foe. Thus, it's really hers, though Bo-Katan is back in charge. So, thus, back in charge. So, at that point, I believe, essentially, what we're going into now is they're going to try to retake Mandalore. Now, Cyber, when they're talking about retaking Mandalore, right? Essentially, what they're talking about in terms of what their opposition would be, it's going to be the Empire, right?
Say that one more time.
When they talk about when the armors talked about it, whatnot, as Bo talked about it, whatnot, everything, that they're gonna have to retake Mandalore, right? It's not the creatures like in the middle of the core of Mandalore that are the problem. Isn't it an Empire's, like, you know, controlled space and whatnot and everything, and don't they actually, like, control that area and whatnot? And, you know,
I think what happened is that the Empire basically destroyed Mandalore and made it uninhabitable.
Yeah, they glassed it like Halo. They glassed it.
Yeah, and so by the Mandalorian going back and realizing that you could breathe the air there, that's a little sign that you can re-inhabit it, that planet. So I think that's the start of what you were saying, and say, that's their goal, that they can
I
all
see.
get together and restart that planet again.
So the opposition is the fight itself to
Yes.
actually restore this destroyed planet that's fucking like a wasteland.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that their whole thing is just basically it's a creed, but it's also a religion at the same time. And if everybody can bond together, they can regrow that area, or regrow that planet.
Yeah, no, and I like that theme too, Jasmine. I do. I like that theme. I like that theme. And I'll go to you, Jasmine. All right, and I'll go back to you, Leech. I'll let you close it out, Cyber. These final scenes, right? Jasmine, have at it. What do you got to say? What are your thoughts? I mean, as far as how things played out, right? Like, where do we go from here? I mean, is Bo-Katan gonna fucking just take over and handle her business, or what? I mean, what were your thoughts at the end of the episode?
Well, I assumed that she was going to do, unite the Mandalorians, because overall, I think that's all she really wanted. On top of the fact that I enjoyed Lizzo acting. I think as a diplomat person who doesn't normally do things as an actress herself, I think she did an all right job for the role that she had. I don't think it was the best. I don't think it was, top quality of Star Wars, but I think she did an all right job.
Maybe you should go hang out with that guy fucking that came, whatever the fuck his name is, Ambrose, whatever, from fucking he go on podcast and whatnot, that was over here fucking protecting Brie Larson and shit and whatnot. Her talent.
No, we can all have our different opinions, but I think that the Grogu getting knighted was cute.
Yeah,
I think Bo-Katan getting the key to the city was, she deserved. Them racing through the streets kind of was very much the earlier prequels for me, like the second prequel movie. Where they were chasing the sniper.
It definitely had, yes, it definitely had that episode 2 vibe to it, no doubt.
And I enjoyed watching them split up and him going through another alley and then going shit and then going through a bar to crash through the window. I thought that was awesome. If he would have said shit, would have been awesome.
Right.
And then seeing Bo-Katan double shoot the robot from the back was awesome. The overall infection of the robot's alcohol drink was funny, because it's kind of like poisoning somebody with a substance that, unless you're looking for it, you won't find it.
Yeah.
Kind of vibe. If you're watching NC, what is it? NSC or NCS? IS? I can't remember how to say it.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. It was giving very much that vibe, and then watching the robot that was doing the extraction of the liquid get, the virus in them was really cool, and them having to kill that. I think Fester did a good job. I mean, it was giving very much Clue with the whole episode in general, though, with them having to find out who's the bad guy, and this clue leads to that clue, and who did it type of vibe. But I do think that it didn't fit his role. I think maybe there was something they had to rearrange, scheduling conflict, maybe, or a leaked script or something, so they changed it around to fit, what they were doing. I think Bo-Katan's fight scene was awesome. I think the loophole was interesting, but it's believable because he did lose it, and then she did fight the little alien dude in the cave and kill it, so technically it is hers. and it would explain why it's even harder for Dungeon to wield the Darksaber. Because since that episode, it's been really difficult for him to wield it. Like it was resisting even more.
Yeah.
And
I like the fact that that she is now the rightful owner of the Darksaber, because they were talking about whoever could tame the Mythosaur would also be high in the Mandalorian cult or whatever, and I feel that's going to be Grogu.
Why is Darksaber
Because he's going to use the Force. He's going to use the Force to kind of say, "Hey, it's all good. I'm your friend. Relax. You're tamed." And then, because there was a if you go back into like the Clone Wars cartoon, the Jedi became enemy with basically the Mandalorians lost trust in the Jedi. And so for Grogu to tame the Mythosaur and regain the trust of the Jedi, I think is a huge part of this story.
I agree. I very much agree. And I think the way they handled the whole situation, from her fighting her old member of her,
Like her
mercenaries,
troop, whatever it was, yeah.
And having him yield, and then him basically saying, well, they're not going to listen to you because you don't have the Darksaber, and then her getting it, and he's just like, ain't just a bitch. I love that.
You don't understand. Cyber knows, back in the day, I had the Darksaber, right? I sold it for crack. You know what I'm saying? I did, right? Straight up.
I hope you got enough crack for that.
Yeah, I did. You know what I did with the money? I partnered up with fucking Tyrone Biggins, and we threw the $750,000
$50,000
crack special.
party?
Yep, crack party. Yep.
That's amazing.
That's right. And Will and for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was there, and you know what I'm saying, and everybody, bro. You know what I mean? Howard the Duck, everybody was there. Cyber, my friend, your thoughts on the sort of, I don't know, man. The ending was pretty flat for me. I don't know. What do you think?
Who was pretty flat?
I thought the ending was a little flat.
The ending. I mean, the ending was okay. I mean, I didn't see anything particular wrong with it or anything bad about it. I thought it was a pretty basic, your basic ending to this episode, where they, basically gave Bo-Katan kind of like that kind of re-emergence as a leader again type of deal there. I mean, that fight between her and the other guy I thought was pretty basic. Wasn't anything special. And I thought it was it was nice to see that, he was going like full blast at her, fighting and stuff like that, and that it wasn't like, beep beep or something like that, like stupid. But at the same time, it was kind of interesting that they decided to just, played out that pretty basic. And overall, I thought it was an okay ending. I liked that, I thought it was funny how they gave Bo-Katan the key to the city. They knighted Grogu, of course. That was pretty funny. And, it was, once again, as I mentioned in the previous episode, there wasn't as much Grogu again in this episode. So I think those that are kind of Grogu'd out were a little happier that they're not seeing him as much, and him being so much of a player in the leadership of the roles. And so I think that overall it was just, a basic fun, ending that, like you said, it wasn't anything special, but at the same time, I thought it was pretty basic, nothing bad, but overall just like a simple ending to a decent episode.
Okay. Ratings. Leech, you go first. Leech, you dip already?
Yep. He says I'm gonna step off. I have to.
Oh, okay. I saw it. Jasmine, give me your rating, hon.
It was a solid 9.
Oof. Okay. You know what? Yeah, hey, you know, good for you.
I mean, it wasn't a bad episode. It was just, it has its points where it lacked. So I give it a 9.
Okay. No, I think that's fair. I think it's fair. I have no problem with it. Cyber?
And
Okay. You already said that. I'm going to give it a 8. Right?
so
Which I think is fair.
it went from 11.5, from 11.2.5 to 8.
It's an 8. Yeah. Now look back at it. It wasn't as exciting as I really look as maybe I felt like it was when I watched it. You know, I don't know. But either way, it doesn't matter. The series is great. I'm loving it, right? You know, like, I mean, hey, we're not getting Secret Invasion until June. Right? Like, Star Wars is what we got right now from as far as fandom TV series, sort of, right? So, you know, at that point, I mean, when's the Ahsoka coming out?
We don't know yet.
Well, we'll cover it. I know that. I fucking as soon the fact that I've already seen T-shirts for that motherfucker too. I'm gonna grab them. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's gonna be really good. I do. You know, what do you guys think? I guess kind of just to close things off before we get into the plugs. What are your thoughts on Ahsoka? Like, I mean, look, we got Andor, which was I understand everybody didn't think it was as great as I did, but Cyber, you liked it. Jazz, you liked it. We got Andor was solid. I'm loving season 3 of Mandalorian. I think you guys are too. So, I mean, does that put pressure on Ahsoka or whatever, whatnot? I mean, you know, what do you think, Jazz? Okay, well, that's good to know. That's actually the most profound shit I heard all day.
Wait, what?
Oh, nothing. No, I was just asking you. You know, actually, I can't even fucking remember now. But no, I was just gonna ask you because I'm laughing at myself. No, it's okay, sweetie. I was just joking, but I was being lighthearted about it. No, I was asking you.
About
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
What do you think? What do you think about Ahsoka or Ahsoka, whatnot, and everything? Like, do you think that that it's going to be able to like carry this momentum?
Yes.
Right, it's built up with Andor, like we know with the Mandalorian. Like, do you think it's going to keep that going?
Yes.
Good. That's good to hear.
Well, mostly because of the fact that it is a combination of everything she's been in. On top of, we also have the book series that she's in. So it's basically, you just take all that together. They have a plot. They have a direction to go. As long as they stay on due course, we should be good.
And I've seen her in the Clone Wars. She's not Rey. She's not Rey at all. Like, not at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, as a character. What do you think, Cyber? I don't see any reason why there would be a drop off. I'm assuming at least a lot of the same people, at least in the background, will probably be working on the series that did probably Mandalorian or Andor.
No, I mean, I think that it's going to be pretty successful. I don't know where it will, end up in the scale of, between Mandalorian, Andor, the Star Wars films like that. But I do think that it's going to be a solid series that a lot of people are going to like. A lot of people have been wanting it. A lot of people have been waiting for it, especially since they announced it. It's supposed to come out mid to late 2023. So once we have more of an accurate date, we'll have a little bit more idea of what's going to be going on with it. But overall, I think that it'll, with how strong the Star Wars series have been doing on Disney Plus, I think this one will have no problem being a good portion of those TV series and being, liked and wanted. I mean, Rosario Dawson was a great choice. I love her as the character, so I think she's going to do a good job.
Agreed, most definitely. And now, of course, folks, this is gonna be the intermission where I find Jasmine's fucking YouTube channel. Right? It's a whole new segment of the show. Very, very difficult process, right? I mean, it's almost like a sociological experiment, right? you know, trying to find it. But here it is. You know, it's somewhere. You know what, Jazz? You know, it's in that cave with the fucking Mandalorians. You know, Jazz. What is it? Jazzy Nerd Girl. I don't understand. Why isn't this coming right up? I don't get it. You're in my sub, like you're in my shit. I don't understand why I don't see you in my thing. In my actual my subscriptions, I don't see why you're not right there. Did you? Oh, here it is. I got it. Here it is. I got it. I got it. My bad. I think. No, but here, Jazz, while I'm pulling this up, explain the premise really quick and whatnot of what we're eventually going to see here on your YouTube channel in terms of your new content.
Basically, I am doing a rewatch of the entire MCU, including all films and TV shows from the multiverse. As long as they're going to appear in Secret Wars or Kang Dynasty, as long as those particular characters are going to show up, I'm putting them in the timeline.
Okay.
So currently we are watching Peggy Carter. Majority of my posts videos are on my Patreon, which have a lot more than my YouTube does because of guidelines. So, you know, you can find me on Jazzy Nerdy Girl Reacts on Patreon, and it's like $5, and you can get all the videos that we've already filmed, which are already up there before they go on YouTube, all broken down. So
I'm still over here trying to find that motherfucker. I'm over here in the Twilight Zone and shit.
I just put the hashtag in the private chat there for you, Jeff, to find her.
Okay, thank you, brother. I feel like a handicapped person and shit. I've got to have people give me links and shit. Thank you. Well, Jasmine, we're very proud of you. We're very proud of you. I know that this has been very stressful for you trying to get these reactions out.
Yeah, that's why I had to make a Patreon. It was so much easier so that it gives me time to put them on YouTube for those who just want to be on YouTube.
I still don't have it. What the fuck, man? I'm telling you. I'm sorry, Jasmine. I have no idea what the hell's going on with my freaking YouTube right now. That link didn't even work. Normally, your shit pops right up in my thing. Like, it's right there. That should piss me off now. Jazzy.
You literally put it in the chat and still can't find it.
Oh, ZY.
Yeah, ZY. JAZY Nerdy. Just put that in and she should pop right up.
You got it. There it is. Fucking A. Cyber, thank you, sir. See, that's why he's the best host ever, folks. Right there. You just saw it. Right there. The power of Cyberneticshark is a co-host. It's being demonstrated right there. The power, the cooperation, the support, right? All the good stuff. There we go. Look at that. We've got it. This is a miracle of technology. We can now show Jasmine's new fucking video. No, is that the new one? This is it. Agent Carter Season 1. Can you hear me?
I hear you, and yep, that is the first episode. The second one should be up tomorrow, along with a episode of Bel Air, Fresh Prince of Bel Air reaction, which I'm also putting up.
Oh, I'm telling you, Jasmine, you know what? That looks good, but just wait till you get in there and whatnot, and you have a chance to actually play around with these new editing abilities. With
I've already used it, and I've used it for 2 videos so far.
Great. That's awesome. It's really dope. I like it. Awesome. There you go, Jazz. I told you that shit was gonna be dope. Now, Cyber, my friend,
Yes, sir.
how did we clear? Are we still stuck a couple short of our what where are we at numbers wise here?
603. We're over 6.
I know. And you're kind of like in a little bit of a lull. So you're just gonna have to do Cyber. You're gonna have to make some fucking like fiery fucking like like take your fucking pants off, fucking what I'm saying, like get the spotlight on you type viral shit going on, right? Do some crazy shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely. Crazy shit, people. Yeah.
Dude, think about it, bro. If you could fucking switch into and morph into like a scroll into a hot chick, right? Like if you could fucking like scroll fucking into and you were like fucking Salma Hayek or some shit, right? Dude, bro, you could just fucking make like a reaction video of yourself talking about how hot your tits are. Right? And you would have fucking 25,000 subscribers in one day.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, of course, you'd have to show the titties too, right? But
well, anyways, I mean, I picked up 5 subscribers since the last time we were on, so I it's not a super low. I mean, I gained 22 subscribers last month, so it's not too bad of a low. It'll go faster and faster as more content gets up, So
it's an ebb and
I'm
flow.
over 6. I'm over 6, so that's all that matters. No more you having to do what you had to do,
No, it's an ebb and flow. It's an up and down thing. It's an ebb and flow. Just like you'll experience, Jasmine. There's peaks and valleys of this stuff and whatnot and everything. And if anything, Cyber, you never know what the hell's going on, right? With the people, people right now, in people's lives, whatnot, and everything, and how their desire to like watch content, right? But I can tell you that if anything, like I've got to, I think I still didn't even give you the information for Chat GPT, which bye Jazz, love you, hon. Which folks, we're not advertising Chat GPT, although we will Chat GPT, just to be clear, we'll be happy to, just to put it out there. But no, Chat GPT is pretty dope. I'm using it routinely now. I'm incorporating it more and more and more into pretty much all my tasks that have to do with hashtags. I really haven't been able to figure out how to generate a lot of hashtags on there. Like I can't get it to give me the whole like block on a YouTube video, for instance, that whole space. It won't give me that many. But I've heard that if you ask the query right questions, it will give you that. So overall, in general, again, sorry about being late, but I want to thank everybody for coming on. Do we only have 2 episodes left, Cyber? I thought the Mandalorian episodes were 3 or 9 episodes long.
I honestly don't recall. Hold on 1 second. Let me find it.
I got it. It's got to be right here.
No, I believe they're 8 because
it's 22 total. Yep, it's 8.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's actually probably your best green screen too, so far. Yeah. That's one of the pictures I actually have for thumbnails that I haven't used yet and whatnot and everything.
Yeah.
So Cyber, well, listen, man, let's close this bitch out, folks. Hey, listen, Friday, which I believe is what, Cyber, the 7th?
Correct.
We have the rest of our 2022 rankings. So we're gonna essentially do them the same way we did last week and kind of let Cyber handle like the meat and potatoes, right, of the moderating and whatnot. I'm kind of gonna participate more, kind of try to like actually be active and whatnot on my laptop, so I can get them to both work and try to fill in some gaps and whatnot and provide some side information. But we're gonna rank the 4 MCU films that came out, between us and the panel. I think I have some pretty solid guests to come on. so we should have a pretty solid show. And then again, honestly, probably I believe next week, which will be what? I don't know, the 10th, I think, or the 11th. I'm going to be doing our first Monday show, which I'm going to change up, and I'm actually going to not start at 9:35. I'm actually going to drop it down to 8:35. Just drop it down an hour. Just make this a little bit easier for our buddy Jermaine. Is going to come over. And hopefully, if I can kiss his ass long enough, he's actually going to fucking special guest host the show with me, maybe at least 3 or 4 times a month. So, we'll have somebody solid in the team again and whatnot, kind of a la Perry Ramsey again, right? But African and gay. There you go. You know what I'm saying? And with a better smile. Sorry, Perry, but Jermaine's got a better smile than you do, bro. You got a good smile, but Jermaine's got you. Right? We love you though, Perry. We missed you, bro. But Cyber, sir, do you have any final thoughts, sir? I really enjoyed the episode of Mandalorian. I'm sad it's almost over. I think that I know right now I've been doing a lot of research and whatnot and everything. We got a lot of good stuff to like cover and whatnot coming up the next couple months. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, nothing else for me. I mean, like I said, solid episode 10, and enjoyed it.
Most definitely. Hey, I'm telling you, I saw that they're making I think we should jump on our next TV show. We should jump on the spinoff from Grease with the pink jacket bitches or whatever, ladies or whatever, whatnot. That series.
No,
we should cover that,
no,
bro.
No,
yeah?
Hell no.
Is Frenchie in that bitch?
No.
Ah.
It's supposed to be predecessor to that. It's a prequel.
Dude, I always wanted to bang what's her name? That Tatum chick. Not Tatum. What was her name? The really like tough one. The actress,
Rizzo?
she's dead now. Rizzo, yeah, I always wanted to bang her.
She's not dead.
No?
No. Sandy's the one that just died.
Oh, I wouldn't bang her anyway. Then if she's still, even if she's still alive, I wouldn't hit it. Anyways, folks, no, but we appreciate all of you, whatnot, and everything. I'm not even sure where our sub count's at. I'm sure we're probably almost 17,000 or getting close to it by now. Seems to be pretty steady. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Hey, may the peace be with you, and this is the way, baby.
Dude.